Howdy, partners, and this is I Sincere. Remember how it's said, or I'll hate you for it, bringing you another 1 versus 1 ranked commentary of Dawn of War 2 Retribution. Today I have nothing to do and I am home alone, so you know what that means? That means videos everywhere! And I'm glad to be able to do this. I love playing this game, and actually I love recording these videos and putting it up on YouTube. Something that I've never really thought that I'd ever really be doing before in the past. So, we're getting the Judgment of Carrion again, and we're playing against Chaos Space Marines, and it says that I'm favored. Again, I hope it's not the case, because I could definitely use a challenging match. Haven't really had anything to do all day, so give me something to do. Loading. There we go. Some bad starting lag. Gonna switch it up this time, send my scouts off to the right this time for the long run, and him off to the short distance. And he's telling me, prepare to die, loyalist scum, and I'm gonna say for the Emperor. And he says, fuck me. Okay. I can live with that.
Ready for duty. This is Imperial territory now.
Death to the false Emperor.
Securing area.
I think the proper response for Chaos would be death to the corpse god, but you know what? These are heretics. Why am I concerning myself with what they think? I'm not.
Scouts ready.
So, now that we've got that settled, we are starting the match off. And it doesn't look like we're going to meet too much resistance over here. Nope, just some heretics. That'll be easy enough to take care of. And we're going to go over here and start capturing. Just going to run away from my scouts. Which is funny to me. Oh, goodness. He went for double heretics. And we're going to run on out of there. Uh-oh. We aggressed a little too much, so. So, it's kind of a shame that he didn't go for the double Chaos Space Marines, because heretics are really powerful meleeers, but you know, they're not that good against Space Marines. I think the biggest reason is the combat shotguns, really, is what does them in. I mean, if they can't attack anything or slow them down and use their heresy, then they're really ineffective, and you end up just paying to even get close to combat. You really end up paying a lot. So, setting our scouts up to go capture that, and we're gonna let Diomedes heal up, and we're going to go for Assault Marines, despite the fact that he went double heretics. With some support, I really feel like they'll be able to just kind of crush right on through, do a lot more damage than if I had just gotten a Devastator squad. I'm not too worried about needing suppression. He didn't get that many ranged units, so yeah. And we can see that he's bringing up his heretics. We're going to shotgun blast them back away, and do a lot of damage. I'm going to continue to harass his power generators. And he is retreating into the building. It's a smart move on his part. However, that does give me plenty of map control. And you can see that he's already anticipating the loss of his power generators over here, and he's going ahead to
Scouts ready.
let's see, harass mine. So gonna use the battle cry, retreat on out of there, because obviously he's gonna be able to outlast him
Scouts here. Go
a
ahead.
little, at least. I mean, so in anticipation of him trying to take out my generators, I'm going to go ahead and try and build some over here. This map is always kind of funny because you got two like natural power nodes, and it's very hard to choose which one that you want to start with, and
Support structure complete. We have lost a building to the enemy.
you know, for the lack of
We shall not fail.
knowing exactly where your enemy is going to be attacking. So silly enough, he's going to try and capture it instead of destroying the generators outright, which is a bad idea. If it's that close to your enemy's base, don't waste your time. Go ahead and kill the power. That way, you know, it'll be gone for sure. So we're tying up these Chaos Space Marines in melee, and they're gonna, you know, they're gonna take a beating. Gonna use Battle Cry. Battle Cry gives in your units 20% additional damage, if I'm not mistaken, and even if it is ranged fire, it still gives them the additional damage. Unlike the For the Emperor, which gives them additional range damage and resistance to melee and whatnot. So this is good for all types of damage. So right now we've got some incredible map control,
The enemy is capturing
and
victory points.
gonna put down some extra power nodes, which will help us greatly here coming pretty soon when we're Tier 1 Space Marines. You tend not to really spend all that much power. Most of the time you're saving it up for crucial units or for teching up and whatnot. But in Tier 2 Space Marines, you spend your power like no tomorrow, and so it's always good to make sure that you have plenty of power. And so we can see why he's been, or the benefits of having that extra early Heretic squad instead of the other Chaos Space Marines, because he got the Blood Crusher, and that's
Units have become available.
the Blood Crusher is not a bad unit.
Enemy has claimed
It's just pretty squishy in comparison to a lot of armored vehicles. This one is considered a vehicle, not a monstrous creature,
the enemy is claiming
and at the same time, it's also still considered a demon. So, and you can tell, you know, he's kind of got me backed into a corner because, you know, I just got into Tier 2, and unfortunately he's going to make me bleed bleed a little bit, which would be good for him. You know, definitely getting that crucial map control that he needed, and really hurting me in the requisition point. But unfortunately, he's going to see this dreadnought, and hopefully, if he knows what's good for him, get out of there, because that dreadnought will just absolutely crush him. Yeah. So that's that. That's the end of that attack, and we're going to go back and start reclaiming everything, because he really did do some damage with that. Yeah, he really did do some pretty good damage with that push with the Blood Crusher. So probably not a bad idea for him, really. We're gonna bounce them off. That's what I always imagine it is. They're just bouncing me off, or bouncing them off of you with that shotgun blast. So we successfully pushed them back and we're starting to recapture a lot of our stuff. And because we don't have our power generators, and oh my god, he must be swimming in power right now because of having both of my fully maxed out power generators, or power farms, you know. That's a sound file I haven't heard before. So, gonna get our scouts over here with our dreadnought, and again, big reason for that, we want to make sure that our dreadnought is completely healthy. We're gonna go over here and capture this, and now we are going to come together here in the center. We're not gonna let our dreadnought come out there unsupported. That's always a bad idea. I mean, if you mess up and they catch you out of position, you can lose quite a bit. And being as Space Marine, that's not good at all. Period. So scouts are taking some hits right now. We're gonna keep them in there. Oh. And we successfully took out their Blood Crusher at the cost of our Dreadnought, which is not really a good trade, but it's better that we did some damage and took them out, or took some stuff out, rather than not do any damage and have lost our Dreadnought. So yeah, in this setup right now, I suggest the Sergeant heavily for your squads, but I do not suggest really the plasma gun as nearly as well as I do usually. The big reason behind that is that the plasma gun, in comparison to the Zinj bolters, is just, good god, those Zinj bolters are incredible. So don't think that, you know, it's like in the regular Space Marine versus Space Marine kind of matchup, you know, just with pointy helmets and whatnot, because it's not like that in any way whatsoever. But right now you can see he's got very little to deal with my infantry on the ground, which is good for me, really good for me, because I got a lot of infantry, especially these Assault Space Marines, and you know, against infantry, like the Chaos Infantry especially, they're very, very, very capable. Very capable. So you can see that he doesn't have the Zinj bolters yet, but if he did, I'd be in trouble. Because then my tacticals would be, you know, pretty poor in comparison, I think, you know. I've seen it so many times, you know, it's like, oh, it's a plasma gun, you know, plasma guns are awesome. And you're right, yeah, plasma guns are awesome. It's just, unfortunately, they're not the best against something, against one. It's basically like they are equipped with plasma guns, it's just every last one of them. So, if that makes any sense. And 4 plasma guns obviously beats 1 plasma gun. So, we're going to go ahead and tier 3. I could buy another Dreadnought, but in the past I have noticed that while they are good, it's sometimes better to just go ahead and get into tier 3. Like, sometimes Terminators are just so much more delicious. And we're going to finish off that squad. So we got a free Heretic squad, so he's got a little less mobility than he did before. He's got more, I think, like map control capability now that he has 2 of the Havoc squads. I think that's what they're called. But yeah, definitely more ability to control the map now that he has both of those. And yeah, see, now I just, even if that had been the other squad of Havocs and everything, the other ones would have pinned him just as well, and I'd have been in some trouble. So, got some good map control going on right now. I'm gonna go over here and harass his generators, and I see that he still doesn't have two fully maxed out power farms, which I am actually really happy about. So, and we've regained, you know, a minimal amount of map control. A little unknown fact: the sergeant for the scout squad is actually a really good upgrade to get, not just for the general purpose of the grenades, but or the cloaking, cloak detection, but also for the simple fact that you get a fourth model of scout, or a fourth scout, which has a shotgun, and that's and you know, it does a lot of extra additional damage. Sorry. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yes, yes, yes. Also, that grenade is really sweet. It is a really sweet grenade. I don't know if you've seen it. Nope, doesn't look like it. And boom! Ton of damage. We're gonna force melee over here, do some double damage. And we are in tier 3, and we can afford some Terminators. Now you're asking, why am I buying the regular Terminators? Well, he's got a lot of ranged units, and I'm thinking, hey, some ranged units would hurt them back pretty good. Woo. Yeah, always make sure you watch your guys, and I mean, generally they give you like an alert, but you won't get one all the time. Or you won't get a very good one all the time. So, and with the Terminators here and the Assault Marines, we ought to be able to clear this out pretty darn easily. So, we should have been capturing that with our scout squads, but you know what? At this point, I do not know if it matters. I'm not going to say it does, or it doesn't, but I won't say that it does either, or it doesn't. So he's using his Stank Cloud. I call it the Stank Cloud because I don't know what it is. I don't play Chaos. It's a matter of principle for me. And we're going to back out real quick here to avoid taking much more damage from the Space Marines. Or Chaos Space Marines, sorry. They're not real Space Marines. Not real Space Marines at all. So, make sure you use that Merciless Strike and everything, because that does a lot of damage. Also gives you that gives them a knockdown, and it hits over multiple models. So you can see he's desperately trying to cling into this game by capturing the center point. That's not going to get him anywhere. Boink! I love that. On the retreat, it always just looks like he's poking them. So yeah, he's fallen desperately behind, and I don't think there's much else he can do right now, despite being in a point lead. He might be trying to save up for like a desperation unclean one or something like that. I'm not sure if he had enough to be in tier 3 now. But you gotta remember, there was that time that he actually did have all of the power. So, uh-oh. We're gonna throw some grenades. That was probably a bit off, so we'll bounce them back. Oh, never mind. That was perfect. Aha! How does it feel, heretic? How does it feel? Come here. Let me punch you. Those storm bolters that come with the Terminators actually does a ton of damage. So, I mean, I think they have better damage the closer they are. Not exactly sure. I seem to have more success the closer the enemy is. Also, they do have power fists on them, so they are considered like armor penetrating melee. Just something you might want to keep in mind. So it doesn't render them useless by any means. Activate this as a retreat beacon, and hopefully I will remember this time that I've done that. So, if only we had our grenades off cooldown. Bummer. But we didn't. No use crying over spilled milk. The next thing I think I'm gonna buy is a what's it called? A Predator tank, and I think the reason, or I think the reason behind that is because, well, we have this right here. Uh-oh, get inside. That noxious cloud can't do anything about it. Is that what it's called? Noxious cloud? I don't know. Can't do damage to vehicles. Well, it's doing damage to vehicles, but it's not much damage. So, don't care. Anyway, oh, and he goes ahead and leaves the game. Let's see, what could he have done better? I think his beginning strategy really left him hanging out to dry, because the thing is I could have gone for double scouts at that point and just used my force commander to keep the Chaos Space Marines off of my back the entire time, and use these scouts to get like free heretic squad kills, which would have definitely put him even further behind. Of course, me always opting to go for those tacticals, you know. One second. But yeah, definitely probably should have gone for the double Chaos Space Marine, whatnot. Definitely would have been a bit better off for him. Maybe even triple. I'm not exactly sure if they can do triple early on or whatnot. Let me know if you know. But yeah, you know, those Chaos Space Marines, a lot more resilient than the Heretics, definitely could have put out a lot more damage, and especially them just being ranged, period, would have been a lot better for them, because as Heretics, basically the entire time, were just busy getting knocked around by me, and they were a nice paperweight for him, and as well as he had to keep reinforcing them. But other than that, really, his strategies weren't unsound. I mean, he was behind. He went for the vehicle, like the desperation vehicle, you know, to try and help turn the tide. And for that matter, he did an excellent job of doing that. And I mean, it was an incredible push that he had made, and he recaptured everything. And I think another one of his mistakes is instead of killing off my power generators like he probably should have, he went and captured them in place of, you know, having his own and whatnot. I'm trying to tell him I'm recording. I'm trying to tell him I'm recording YouTube videos right now. It's like he doesn't want to read my posts or anything. So, but yeah. Okay. Well, that's not how you make friends. But anyway, yeah, other than that, I mean, really his strategies were kind of sound after that. Like, he he was doing everything that I think he could have to get back into the game, except for maybe, you know, restarting his power generator farms. Yeah, I could have definitely have restarted his own power generator farms, especially considering the fact that my generators were exposed like a multitude of times. He could have just taken all of them, and I would have pretty much been at the same position he was, trying to get back into the game, buying, you know, more power generators so I could get power and whatnot. But he just kind of left them there for me to recapture. Anyway, yeah, this was a fun game. I enjoyed playing it. I really did. He was actually a pretty good player. And if you like the video, like it. If you'd like to talk to me, leave a comment or something. Any suggestions? What you like about it? What you hate about it? I don't care. Just talk to me. I'd love to hear from you guys. And yeah, that sounds like it's about it. This is Ice and Sea. Remember how it's said, or I'll hate you for it. And I'll catch you later, partners.